good evening or good morning or whatever time you're watching this. Good evening or good morning, whatever time you're watching this. But we're going to call this the Cian Malone Show, I think. Something new I'm going to try. So I'm just going to set up a camera and I think I'm just going to do a bit of shy talking. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We're still figuring out. I don't want to just do the daily vlog, you know what I mean? I need something else to put out. That's how I started out the first Cian Malone Show. So that's how I'm going to start out this one. Episode 20 was going to be this. I was doing a Q&A, but I ended up interviewing the two boys in the last one. I had some laugh at them. I felt like Unk. Them two boys fresh out of school. They're just hyper schoolboy kind of shit, you know what I mean? I'm getting on. Had a laugh either way. It was good. It was different to the other interviews. The last two interviews were great with Harry and Osa, and then the other interviews were ages ago, but they were great as well. And it was building. There was such a gap between them. I should have locked in. I was afraid to reach out to people, but like, let's have a conversation. You know what I mean? The shy fella, like, I'm not shy. I don't know why I had like this kind of like. I was a bit shy. I'm shyer on social media than I am in person. Is that weird? Maybe that's healthy. That's actually probably healthy. So I'm gonna take that as a win. But yeah. So the interview fella for the last while, but we're gonna do a little Q&A, bring it back to the roots. The original roots wasn't a Q&A, to be fair. I just put the camera down and I show you talked, but I've done that loads of times by now. Turned into a Q&A, then an interview show. It's just the Cian Malone Show's a wild goose, you know what I mean? You don't know what you're gonna get. Doesn't even make sense, but that sums up this whole thing, doesn't it? I do have a lot of questions here today. I'm going to start out with the heaviest one first. So, Dunner asks, what do you think about what's happening in the Middle East? I think it's wrong. And it's an absolute horrifying show going on right now in the world. Like, right now, the world as it is wrong. And we need to fix it. Like, I don't want to get too doom and gloom and all, but like right now in the Middle East, you have just genocide going on, just bombings, just innocent people dying. It's wrong, like. And the Strait of Hormuz has been closed by Iran, which is going to lead to just global financial crisis, which isn't going to be good in all sectors, and everybody's going to be feeling that. And it's just like why are all these old bastards in charge spastics? Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say in that, because I'll end up just going on a rant and probably like get myself in trouble before I make it to myself, you know. But come here, I'll definitely, we'll have a few controversies in that time. Hopefully, you know what I mean. That'd be a bit of crack. And right, so I'm gonna move on to the next question. Sean asks, is there any specific year, or I'm recording, I'm like, yeah, I am. Is there any specific year or point in your life that's nostalgic to you, and is there anything from that time you take inspiration from today? Yeah, I'd say nostalgic for me, going back, I think I've talked about this before, but like when I was younger, yeah, so say about 12 went into secondary school, and I was a little bit chubby, you know what I mean, I had that baby weight and all on me. I hadn't really talked to many girls, I was afraid to talk to girls. I was a little bit of a gamer, you know what I mean? I was making videos, I was streaming, I was playing like shit back then, but like to like no one, do you know what I mean? And I gave up on all that to chase girls and nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Just sessioning in parks, the shit you do at that age, you know what I mean? And then around the time I turned 14, yeah, I lost that baby weight and I got a perm. And this was like, not many people got a perm at this time. I was starting it off, yeah. And then I got this perm and it just completely changed my brain chemistry. It's like that, whatever gear was in that, yeah, the confidence. So it was just like, it was like a reawoken. And then I started getting interest off girls now, and I thought it was the fucking Dom Perignon. It was deadly, you know what I mean? And like the confidence I had in myself, like, it was like, for a short period of time at that time, I had like some of the beliefs that I have now that I lost for so many years. Like, that I didn't care what other people's opinions was. I was just living for me, and it was just like, you know, I had all this confidence. That got knocked over the years just trying to like fit in or blah, blah, blah. You're just nonsense, do you know what I mean? But that's something to look back on, to where it's like, I take inspiration of like some of the mindset I had then to bring it into now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we're gonna move on to another question. Conan asks, what's something interesting that happened to you this week? So you would have asked me that like last week, so I put that up in my story last week. So last week was my birthday. Happy birthday to Cian. I'm a month into me 25th year on this earth, and it's going great so far. Like, the confidence I've had in myself since It's been great. I had that interview with the boys. It was cool. I got a few funny clips out of that. You know, it didn't go viral or nothing, but like I'm just building. You know what I mean? One of these clips eventually is gonna just go, and then they're gonna go back to the discography. Is that the word he used? The discography, the whole collection of the Cian Malone Show, the iPhone vlogs, all the shenanigans going on. You know what I mean? So what's something interesting that happened to me this week? Because I was asked that question last week, so I was like, the most interesting thing that happened to me was turning 25. Like the way my brain chemistry just changed. It was like, I don't know. It was like, I don't know if there is just something like spiritual that happens when you're 25, or it's just encoded in, or maybe I just try make meaning out of things. I do. I try to make meaning out of everything in life. Try to figure out what it is, and for some reason, turning 25 was just unexplainable. It was definitely interesting. You know, it was so interesting I can't even explain it to you. And you know, if you're in a classroom and you're telling the teacher you're interested in something, and then you can't explain it to them, they'd be like, "Are you really interested in it?" But come here, I'm just kind of like I'm a little bit hyper at the moment. I'm after taking the camera out, and it's just, I don't know, I'm after getting a bit like I don't know. It's just, I love doing this, and the brain's not working right now. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, I think I'm breaking the rust off of the Cian Malone Show on just the ones. You know what I mean? So terrible performance. I'm gonna have to reel it back in now in the second half. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna move on to another question. What shaped you to become who you are? Sorry, Moore asks, what shaped you to become who you are? What inspires you? I think it's just everything over time in my life. Like, it's just, I feel like I've always been a bit of a sponge. I've always been a bit of an observer. I'm just kind of observing everything going on. I'm just forming some sort of a idea of the world. And like, for so many years, that was just like, what the fuck? Because you're getting this new information, this contradicting this, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? And then you figure out what's going on, then you're like, fuck. And then you have to come to terms with that. So, what shaped you to become, I don't know, just self-belief in myself, I think, more than that. Definitely. Like, that's definitely been the thing that's added the most positivity to my life. Like, when I've no self-belief in myself, and I'm just sitting around and binge watching TV shows or something, I'm just kind of convincing myself of all this potential, but I'm just sitting there not doing that with it. That's the lowest point of my life. But when I actually thought, right, let's make something of yourself. You're definitely worth more than you're doing right now. So get up and try figure it out. And that's where the self-belief comes in, when you keep fucking doing it, repeating, consistency. Do you know what? To just sum it up, just keeping promises to yourself. Like, that's what shaped me to be who I am. Did that inspire me? Well, it goes into a whole different kind of thing on who inspired me. It's been loads of people, you know what I mean? All kind of like artists that have grown up listening to it in some way inspired me, you know what I mean? Well, whether that be a lyric in their song, just, you know, maybe a few of their songs. Maybe I listened to an interview of them talking when they were first coming up, or, you know, loads of different things shaped me into who I am. I think the best thing I can do, I can say to you, is just seek knowledge. Just learn as much as you can about everything you're interested in, and anything in between, and just try form your own opinion in between it all, rather than just taking everyone else's word in it, you know what I mean? Because most people's words are fogged out through whatever the algorithm's feeding them, so you just kind of have to piece it together and just find inspiration for yourself, you know what I mean? Like, I've found my own inspiration for art through my own kind of ways, and you're going to have different ways to me, you know what I mean? Everybody has their own experiences, everyone has their own reality, so just whatever you like doing, just focus on that and find yourself through that, you know what I mean? I think that was like a few points that probably didn't go together in one, but just kind of rambling here, it's kind of my sting, you know? And Moore also asked, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? 5 years from now, I'll be 30. Damn, 30 years of age. Still looking young. I still look in my 20s and I'm 30. That's a fact. You know, I asked the two boys what age they thought it was, and they said 21, 22, and I was like, haha, yup. I got ID'd last year as well. I was 24 years of age. Went to the little Fella's about 17 years of age. Like, your idea is, I was like, my man. Yeah, they make the bare face. I need to shave though. We've got the goatee going here now, but we're looking sophisticated. You know, I'm trying to grow the Alexander the Great kind of stick. You know, 5 years from now, I'm going to be 30. I hope I'm going to be a lot. Well, I hope whatever I am now, but more. Do you know what I mean? Just I'm happy where I'm at now, and I want to just improve on that and just keep going how I'm going because I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? So hopefully I'm still enjoying myself. Hopefully with my Oscar. You know what I mean? I want to get a double Oscar for best actor and best director. That'll come. You know that. But like in the next 5 years, I could get that in my 40s. I could get that in my 50s. I don't care. But the dreams that can come at any time. But I'll never give up on them. That's the whole point of it. Do you know what I mean? Like I said earlier, keeping promises to yourself. Keep a promise to yourself. Just keep going for it. And eventually, you'll reach it. Unless, you know, I could die tomorrow and never have them, but what's the point in not trying while you have the time here? Do you know what I'm saying? So, we're going to move on now. So, Alex asked a long question. Do you think that the current way the internet is going and how interconnected it's become with daily life, it makes it easier for content creation or trickier for for some new people that may be starting out? It could be good to know. I think it's getting easier. I wouldn't say trickier. Well, you know, people could say, "Oh, saturated market and all that," but like, trust in yourself to stand out. You know what I mean? Find the authentic you, and people will gravitate towards that. You know what I mean? Because when you do actually find yourself, I'm sure you're gonna find a good person under there. Because usually the bad parts of people, it's usually they're gone a bit too far here or a bit too far there, and they're led astray from outside sources. Do you know what I mean? But when you actually do just look within and learn what goes on in the world, the realities of the world, like everything's good. Just enjoy. You know what I mean? So enjoy your content creation. You know what I mean? Like get into this. Like if you look at people making videos and you think, I'd love to do that, do it. Because if you'd love to do anything in life, do it. Because why would you not? Like what you want to do, just go the normal route. Like, and I'm not saying don't go the normal route. Like, you know, when you're a young buck, you need to figure shit out. So go the normal route and figure yourself out, and then give it a chance in yourself. But always have that belief in yourself that you'll get there. Do you know what I mean? Don't just think, like if you're listening to this and you're like in school and you're just going, been off college, been off work, whatever. I'm just going straight into it. Like if you think you have the capabilities right there and then, go for it. But look at yourself within and see if you really do. Like, are you fit enough? Is your mind strong enough? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it reality? And if it's not, go right. Put myself into the workforce for a few years and build myself as a person, and then go for it. You know what I mean? Because you have a lot of time on this earth, so you don't need to rush in. You just need to figure out yourself and then figure out where the path goes. Then, do you know what I mean? Everything starts from within, and then you go out. Do you know what I mean? Rather than trying to figure out all this outside stuff first, figure yourself out first. Do you know what I mean? So I think I went on a rant, but it was about content creation. Which way I'm out. So yeah, I went off on a bit of a rant there. That was to do with content creation. Is it trickier? I don't think it's trickier. I think you have more tools at your hand, and you have more inspiration to grab from. There's loads of people doing it. You're going to see people who are just like you, doing exactly what you want to do. So if they can do it, why can't you do it? You know what I mean? So I don't think it's going to get harder. I think it's only going to get easier. And I think with all the AI slop as well, I think authenticity is going to be the selling point over the next few years. Real shit. People don't want all this slop. You know what I mean? All this corporate slop. Fuck all that. So he also asks, how do you feel about how your content has evolved since you started, and how do you expect it to evolve further in the future? Yeah, so I watched a lot of my videos back when I was turning 25, like the night before. I was just loving it. I was just like looking at myself back, the unconfident fella just trying to take a chance on himself. Had nothing figured out. Something figured out. You had the basics figured out. Just trust yourself. Try something. Do you know what I mean? But the inner confidence wasn't there. You know, the speaking skills, maybe not there yet right now, but we're going to get there, you know. I was starved of conversations for so many years. I was just kind of sitting around, just doing nothing, do you know what I mean? Watching shit all the time. questioning what other people. I was questioning stuff in my own mind, but I was just sitting around doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just learning all this stuff. And after the year taking a chance on myself, I just started talking to all these different people and just learning more about myself, more about the world, and just growing and growing and growing. And I plan to continue doing that. So I'd say I'm going to evolve to the top. So, my mouth are kicking over there. The next question. I'm just stepping on everything over here. It's a mad little setup, right? My light is broken, so I'm using this lamp, so the whole kind of thing is all, that's actually shining in my eyes right now. I'm getting a bit of it, you know what I mean? So that's all good, but we're just running it because the weather's bad, and I wanted to do this outside. I wanted the Cian Malone Show to always be outside, using the world as our studio, but this waterproof camera in the rain is just like, with 50 days of rain. My studio has leakage, it does, yeah. I'm going to have to call a plumber. I don't know if the plumber works up in that department anyway. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, right, where do we go? So, Susie asks, how do you move on from the past and not let... I'm just breaking the gaff up here, yeah? How do you move on from the past and not let it affect you? Yeah, I have a weird theory about this. I think I have a better way of dealing with this than people. I think I have a better way of dealing with this than people, because I have this thing called aphantasia, where when you can if you something, maybe you might figure out you have it too. It's a bit weird. When you go down the rabbit hole, when you try to visualize something in your head and you realize people can actually see stuff in their head, and you've been just seeing black your whole life, and you've just been thinking things in a conceptual way without actually having a picture, and that's a rare thing. It's a bit damn, I really am different. I was made to excel, But it's also oh shit, I can't imagine all these mad worlds in my head. But through psychedelics, through the magic mushrooms, a while ago, I was able to. So, there's a further thing there. How was I able to awaken more of a consciousness through these fungi in the ground? You know what I mean? If on a regular day my brain just black. It's not black, it's not dark. It's very happy up there. It's actually sunshine and rainbows, but without picture. Imagine sunshine and rainbows, audio only. You know what I'm saying? Basically that's the whole gist of it. So I think I can move on from the past better. That's kind of what you're asking. Because I don't have the ability to play bad memories on my head. So, I remember they happened. I can bring myself back to that time and in a weird way where it's not without a picture, it's just you feel it. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. If anyone else has aphantasia and knows what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. But yeah, it's a bit crazy. So I think I have a better way of dealing with that, but it also is kind of mental as well. Say if it comes to grief, it's I say what I tell myself is I need to do them proud. I can't let they wouldn't want me to waste a tear. They wouldn't want me to sit around just sitting around sobbing, not sobbing, what's the word I'm looking for? Wallowing's wallowing the world, yeah, wallowing's the word. Wallowing. just sitting there on a Debbie Downer, yeah. They wouldn't want that. They want me to move on with my life and be happy and do them proud, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just with grief, I deal with conversations with them as if, I know what they'd say back. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's just the voices in the head or whatever. But you figure your own reality out. So not let it affect you. I think it's hard to not let things affect you. Everything that actually happens is an effect. There's cause and effect and all that, but just have to learn to move on with it, you know what I mean? You need to think in the now and next, not in the past. You can learn from the past, but don't let the past drag on along with you, It's best I can say for that. To be honest, I'm I'm not a qualified not a qualified psychiatric patient or a psychiatrist or I'm a self-proclaimed philosopher from Jobstown, yeah. So do with that what you will. And Walkinstown Dogs asks, what's your opinions on zoos? Now, I partake in the zoos. I went to the zoo when I was in Frankfurt. But like I don't like seeing the animals like caged up. Like I go around having a little buzz and all, because like just like having a buzz and all, and I'm not gonna take it too serious in the moment. But like I do kind of like just let them out into the give them their own land, let them out into the world. Then I do want to watch as well. But like the drones and all of that and all. But I don't know. It's definitely like definitely a touchy subject for a few people. It's just I haven't given it much thought. Do you know what I mean? I went to the zoo a handful of times in my life, and do I agree with it? Do I not? Who cares? Who cares for my opinion on it? You know what I mean? That's kind of the way about it. But I do like going. I do like seeing the lions. You know what I mean? My people, I like seeing them. So yeah, zoos. I've had fun. And now Hardy said, "What's something folks today pretend to like but actually don't?" Hardy, I'm after thinking there for I don't know how many minutes. I just zoned out there, just trying to think like what people pretend to like but actually don't. I'm like, I don't even be thinking about what other people be liking. To be honest with you, like other than like when I'm talking to them and they're telling me what they do like, but I've never questioned, their honesty on it. So I don't know. We're gonna move on. So Ella asks, if you were showering and you only had the smallest amount of soap, what part of your body would you wash last? I do like a lot of showers. I just do with like hot water and no soap. You know what I mean? Sometimes you run out of body wash. Just, do you know what I'm saying? Happy days, dude. You know yourselves. So what part did I wash last? I'd say I'd wash my hands last, technically, because the soap will rub down as I'm using it, so it will lather on my hands last if I am holding it. So I think that was a very autistic way of answering that question, but come here, I'm not diagnosed. The 2K tender asked, how are you feeling right now? Tommy, my man, I hope you're doing well. He was the first man to grace the Cian Malone Show. And we had a great conversation on the road we grew up on. It was a bit of crack. And I'm feeling great. I hope you're well. We're going to be running it back. Tommy will be coming back on the Cian Malone Show. 2K Tender Part 2. That will be coming soon. And I'm feeling great, bro. I'm feeling absolutely great. Like I said earlier on the video, like the mental rewiring from turning 25. I feel great after. I don't know. It's not just me turning 25 that like don't worry. You don't get it's not just some magic button that you press, on the eve of your 25th birthday that just completely fires you into a new realm. I was building up to this over the last year, so some people probably have a miserable 25th birthday, and sorry to you if you did, but mine was great. We had a great time. It was one of the best birthdays in years. It was like I'd say if I was still on the path it was 2 years ago and I was turning 25 and I was still in that kind of spiel and that kind of mindset and I was just sitting around doing nothing, I'd say I would be miserable turning 25. But now I'm just proud that I made it to this age, proud of the man I've become, and proud of what we plan to do next. So I feel great, brother. Thank you very much for asking. And we're going to move on to the last question, which is from Liam Ritchie, regular on the channel back in the day, but he's gone and left to Australia. I miss my friend. Funny seeing him on the old video McCall and all that, but I miss you, brother. If you're watching this, I miss you. Over in, not going to dox him, but he's down under. He's down under, boys. So what you asked is, what's your favourite thing about Ireland? It's people. They crack. They just some of us have been led a bit astray, and we need to reel us back. You know what I mean? We need everybody to just be funny again, make Ireland laugh again. You know what I mean? So my favourite thing about Ireland is the crack, the absolute crack we have. Yeah, the absolute crack we have. I love it. I don't know. I wasn't raised proper Republican or that, and you know what I mean, or anything like that. I just through my own experiences growing up in this country, I can't do nothing but love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love everything about my childhood growing up. You know, I don't love the way the government have led the country into being, and like the political side of things and the economic side of things, but I don't see Ireland as the bureaucracy of it all. You know, I just see Ireland as the land and its people, and that is the greatness of Ireland. Not the Egypt and the suits, you know what I mean? Just making an Egypt of themselves, just talking absolute waffle. I'm talking absolute waffle, but I'm not in control of the country. I'm just a young fool from Jobstown taking a chance on themselves, you know what I mean? These have went to college. The high colleges. The high college, the highest of the college. The highest of the colleges. They're gone to the highest of the colleges, boys. And I tell you, they don't know left from right. Do you know what I mean? They've been arguing left and right, but they don't know right from wrong. Simplest of things, boys. Do you know what I mean? So, I love Ireland and its people. I love you. Thank you very much for watching. That was the last question. The weirdest Q&As you can ever ask for on the Cian Malone Show. So I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, comment, let me know thoughts. I'm sure there's some sort of thoughts going on from whatever spieled out Cian. Spieled. What? Like, my vocabulary is just so random. Like, I could put this camera down, yeah, and just speak so eloquently, and you wouldn't know anything about it. Or I would just spout a load of nonsense out. It's real random like that. It's like a random word generator that just comes from the stream of consciousness. So, I love yous and leave yous on that thought. It's been me. That was a mad outro. And it was a great intro as well, because it threw it back to the Cian Malone Show, the episode 1, where it was the unconfident young fella sitting on his couch, just trying to talk more because he was doing these little vlogs on his phone, you know, going around. Good morning, welcome back to the I wasn't even saying the Cian Malone Show. Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. Going to work, gonna take me creatine. Right, let's go to work. And I'd elbow the camera, and you wouldn't know anything about it. And I'd transition, and then I'd say something. I'd count the sale. 1 sale, 2 sale, elbow, 3 sale, elbow, 4 sale, elbow. I was throwing elbows like you wouldn't know. I swear to God, I'm not even joking with you, yeah. One time, I'm spouting on me now, but one time, 6 sales, and I got the spinning elbow in, and then you know nothing about it. That's not a true story. That was me just fabricating reality. But you know, I could have done it. The amount of elbows I threw at that camera. Let me just show you. Look at it, cracked, and I knew that's all she wrote.